Congressman, Mr. Mayor, Lieutenant Governor, I also want to welcome members of the Great Falls Federal Advisory Commission. We've got Freeholder T.J. Best, Dr. Susan Cole from Montclair State, and I believe that also former Mayor Kramer, member of the Advisory Commission. Distinguished visitors, guests, it's my privilege, it's my honor to welcome you to the Paterson Great Falls National Historical Park. This wonderful grand reopening of Overlook Park and the inaugural use of this brand new amphitheater. I actually think, based on this event, we might have to start construction on phase 2 because I think we need more seats. The completion of this project is the greatest example of what a partnership park actually looks like. Since the establishment of this national park 7 years ago, this November 7th, we have moved the ball faster and farther than I think many of us anticipated. More than 300,000 visitors came to these Great Falls last year. They came to be inspired by this natural beauty. And for the first time, many discovered that Paterson is not just important to New Jersey. It's not just important to this region. This city is important historically to this entire nation. This city has a glorious past, and I believe an even brighter future. Our Master of Ceremonies today is determined to inspire Paterson's future renaissance, driven in part through tourism and economic development around these Great Falls. And it isn't just talk. Since the establishment of this park, whether it was a big event, a little event, whether it was no event, you could always find Andre Saya here around the Great Falls. His love for this city, his love for this park, his love for all of our national parks, I think, is evident. And he loves history, which he also taught in college and which he studied in school. You put together a love of history and a love of national parks, and you have what we call in the service a real parkie. I'm telling you, he's the only person I know that has a National Park Service passport book in his pocket. I'm not sure he has it today, but he has it, and whenever he visits national parks across this great country, he makes sure that he goes and gets his passport stamped. I think he's got more stamps than I do, and that's saying something. I think he really spends so much time in our parks because deep down inside, I don't think it's a politician he wanted to be, I think it's a park ranger. You may not know this, Mayor, but there was one politician, actually a United States president, the only president ever to be a park ranger. You know who that is? No. He's wrong. I got you. The only president ever to wear this uniform was also the man in 1976, escorted by Mayor Pat Kramer. Gerald R. Ford was a park ranger at Yellowstone in the 1930s. And he's also the president that designated this area the Great Falls National Historic Landmark District. Well, he worked in Yellowstone, Congressman, and I know you like to say this is our Yellowstone. So with that, I'd like to welcome our current mayor and possibly a future park ranger, our Master of Ceremonies, Andre Saya.
Let's have another round of applause for Darren Bach, our esteemed superintendent here at the Great Falls National Park. Darren Bach has been on the job, and don't worry, I'm not trying to take yours, as long as you don't try to take mine. He's been on the job for 7 years, and we've seen a significant amount of progress at the park as a result of his leadership. Give that man a round of applause again. So, Lieutenant Governor, my favorite college professor of all time, to say that this is a proud moment for Paterson would be the understatement of the century. And it's not just a proud moment for Paterson, Senator. It's a proud moment for the United States of America. Kenny Simpson, this is the birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution. And Congressman, I would venture to say that this is where the American dream was launched by an immigrant named Alexander Hamilton. We became the first first sustainable city, because behind me, his vision was to use that water, Jamie, to power the factories to make Paterson the silk capital of this country. And we're proud for the contributions that Alexander Hamilton has made. He's been popularized by a Broadway musical, and hopefully some of you have seen it, like my good friend, former New York Giant in the Ring of Honor, Amani Toomer. Thank you for joining us, Amani. Eli Manning sends his best regards. Couldn't be here today. They got to win. But nevertheless, this is a city of innovation, cradle of industry. But ladies and gentlemen, in our past, we've had floods, we've had fires, we've had flaws. But the commonality is that because of our falls, we rise. We rise thanks to our falls. And a gentleman who was a true Paterson pioneer, and the late and lamented wife, Mary Ellen Kramer, made sure that we knew the significance of the Great Falls and the role it's played in shaping America's history. And without any further ado, I present to you the mayor who made it all happen, the Honorable Pat Kramer, who will be joined by students from College Achieve, or should I say scholars from College Achieve, to lead us in the flag salute. So please all rise for our falls. Let's have a round of applause for him, please. Thank you. Where are our students? Because they are the future.
Now let us all join together, more now than ever, in a special salute to a great nation whose industry was born where you are standing. If you will, kids, ladies and gentlemen, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank our students.
Now you have to go back to school.
I promise to take all awards for brevity, but not without taking a few moments to salute all of you, because you cared enough to be here this morning at this significant function, paying tribute to the history of our city and to the exciting future that is ours. Our congressman, our mayor, our former mayor, distinguished guests all, members of the city council, our lieutenant governor, how do we say thank you for all the extras that you folks do so that functions like this can take place? One quick memo I want you to carry forever. Every time our nation was in real trouble, facing a huge problem, the roads to the solution led back to her industrial capability. That would meet the crisis again and again. And where was that industrial capability born? Right where you're sitting in Paterson, New Jersey. A special thanks to Leonard Sachs and his team that have worked so hard to bring this day about and all of its significance. I come this day to join you in a salute to those that have made it happen and continue to make it happen. To the youth, pick up your share of the obligation. Paterson deserves it. God bless.
Let's have another round of applause for Mayor Pat Kramer. At this time, I'm going to ask everyone to rise for the national anthem, performed by one of our students from Rosa Parks School of Fine and Performing Arts, none other than Micaiah McDuffie. Let's have a round of applause.
Good morning. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's
for American Idol, don't worry. Please be seated. Our next speaker needs no introduction into Silk City. As a matter of fact, you know this man because he never stops fighting. And because of the fight that he's waged, the battles that he fought in Washington, the Great Falls is a national park. A former mayor who takes tremendous pride in calling himself 100% Patersonian. And when he's on the House floor, he always makes it a point to say that he's from Paterson with one T. That's such a pet peeve of mine as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our congressman, our friend, our fighter, the Honorable Bill Pascrell.
Good morning. Reverend clergy, and all of you today. And as we take it one step at a time, first across the way to Mary Ellen Park and now here, and we have just begun. There's not one person who ever does anything. We did this as a family, as a group. When they said no, we said yes. When they said no, no, we sat on their doorsteps. And when they said yes, we said not bad. So we're here today. What a great celebration. What a beautiful rendition of our national anthem. So we're here to celebrate the next step in revitalizing Great Falls National Historical Park. I'm proud that we have continued to support, to preserve our natural resources from all levels of government. Thank you, Darren, much. Darren, I remember the first day you came here, you set the standard, you've kept that standard high. We want this not only to be a destination for all people, but we want to preserve it in its very holy sepulcher here at the Falls. This Falls has been poetry, narrative, filmed, but it's where what happened around here was the Industrial Revolution. When immigrants came here to begin a new life with their families, put bread on the table. From all persuasions, from all countries, they came to Paterson to work. This is what we believe in. This is who we are. Degrees do not change us. We only have more degrees of commitment to this city, who's been through so much. And yet, we stand proudly. The 150, 160,000, how many people live in this town? Nobody knows.
We gotta get the census, we gotta get that right.
These people are from all walks of life, and that's why I am proud to represent one of the top 5 representative districts in this country. Nobody beats us in terms of who we are. We represent, as Pat Kramer always to say, the real Plymouth Rock. This is where it started here. This is where America attained greatness. This is where workers worked and fed their families. Here, right here. These are sacred grounds. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver. Always been a friend for many, many, many years. You're in the right place at the right time. We need you in New Jersey, and thank you for all of your support for what we're doing here today. Ray Bukowski, New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, for representing your support from Trenton. And finally, thank you to our freeholders, led by our Director Sandy Lazar, for all the support from the St. County. Thank you, Sandy, from all of Freehold, all of Freehold. The $3.2 million in federal, state, and county local funds allowed for the improvements at Overlook Park to build on the continued success that we have had since finalizing our general management plan. Thanks to Mr. Zacks, that plan was accepted by the federal government. This progress is important. 3 years ago, we opened the Mary Ellen Kramer Park, named for our city's former First Lady. Now visitors will get to enjoy the amazing view of the second largest waterfall east of the Mississippi River. This view is reminiscent of the one that Alexander Hamilton had when he conceived and implemented his plan to harness the force of water. Look at that, force to that. God was good to us. So let me tell you, look at that water coming over that wall. Harness the force of water at the Great Falls to power new industries, to secure our economic independence. Our nation's historic quest for freedom and for prosperity started here in Paterson. A city foundational to American industry and the story of our state. The merger of beauty and history is why I sought to preserve and protect the Great Falls by bringing it into the National Park Service, which we accomplished in 2009 after working with the late Senator Frank Lautenberg and Senator Menendez. A few years later, we successfully expanded the park to include Hinchcliffe Stadium. We'll be coming back here later on this afternoon to talk about, at the library, Negro baseball and how it had its foundation here and in Kansas City. Only a couple of years ago, we worked with the city, the county, and the National Park Service to finalize that general management plan. Those who've been following the work at the Falls will know how much has changed in just a few short years. The renovations here at Overlook Park not only moved our statue of Alexander Hamilton to better allow for pictures with visitors and the falls in the backdrop, we now also have the beautiful Amphitheater. And we are in today to be used for future events and educational outings. And the newly paved parking lot and pathway, stairs and catwalk will better connect visitors to all the areas of this great park. Now that this project is completed, I look forward to our next steps. I hope the over $4 million we have secured to renovate the Great Lawn, the historic exhibits along the Allied Textile Printing Industrial Complex will be used soon. These are important visitor experiences to understanding the historic nature of our park. I expect one day to see the raceways in working order and Hinchcliffe Stadium revitalized so it can be used by our community. We've got plenty of work to do, but we are not sleeping on the job. The park has good stewards, great support across all levels of government, including the Great Falls Park Advisory Board. These projects are good examples of how government can and does work to improve the lives of every citizen. Pat and I were just talking about, not too many years ago, just a little bit to my left, right there, Gerald Ford, the President of the United States, christened these hallowed grounds. We became on our quest. From that time on, we came to understand not only our history, but what it could be in the future, because we are people of the future, not of the past. We respect the past. We wouldn't be here. But it's the future that's going to make us the greatest, continue to make us the greatest nation in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day. Every step is a great step. I want to thank you for being here. I'll never forget the day that Pat Kramer brought Gerald Ford, as mayor of the time, up the stairs onto the platform. We had worked for 2 days to make this whole area perfectly clean. And on the day that we had Gerald Ford here, it poured like hell. God was good, though. God was good. We had a great event that day. It shows continued support for the Great Falls that you're here. Be a part of it. Don't let somebody else do this job. This is our job for our city. Been knocked from pillar to post, but we're here and still here. I've lived my life in this city, and these are good days in my life. And I look forward to continuing to work together so we can make these improvements and renovations a reality. Thank you all for joining us, and God bless America. Thank you.
Congressman, are you trying to say if you invite Republican presidents, they bring rain with them? Is that why Donald Trump wasn't on the guest list? No, sorry about that. I couldn't resist. Congressman's a champion for Paterson. And Paterson is a city of champions. Larry Doby won the World Series with the Cleveland Indians. Carson won the WNBA championship. And Victor Cruz from the New York Giants won a Super Bowl. We're proud to call Paterson a city of champions. And in Trenton, we have a champion who's a dear friend of mine. And as I stated before, the best college professor I've ever had, and left me an indelible lesson about cultivating contacts. She's made history in her own right as an assembly speaker and now as our lieutenant governor. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our esteemed honorary Patersonian, the Honorable Sheila Oliver.
Good morning, everyone. When I got here this morning and I saw the mayor with his Paterson button, I have one on my desk. So I have that I love Paterson every single day. It's right in the center of my desk. I want to, first of all, thank Congressman Pasquale. I know how hard he worked through the years to get federal recognition of this space and to get funding for this space. And I just loved when he said, this is not the end, this is the beginning. Because I'm going to tell you, if you think 300,000 visitors a year are coming here now, when this place and its vision is fulfilled, this will become a New Jersey destination for anyone coming to our state. You know, when I came today and I heard the roar of the falls, I am a history lover, no doubt about it. I like old things better than I like new things. And all I could think about was Alex Haley. And for those of you that read Roots or saw Roots, you know that Roots opens up with the African holding his child up to the sky, the stars, and he tells his son, behold something that is greater than you. Well, when I came here today, I thought these falls are greater than all of us. They are. Just imagine historically. Just imagine historically. Go back in your imagination 300, 400, 500 years ago, these falls were here. And before that, this is a nature creation, a natural nature creation. How can we even conceive that this water has tumbled from these falls for hundreds of years? It's unimaginable. But that is the force of nature. And we are challenged as we moved from the Industrial Revolution into a technological age. I think as Americans, we have fought with how do we move forward to the future, but still hold on to the past? It is extremely important for cities to hold on to their past, to their architecture, to the natural resources that are in their communities. We should never, ever, ever not think about sustaining and maintaining and restoring those things that have been in our communities for decades. Great cities all around the world are defined by their natural resources and their architecture, and Paterson is a testimony to that. I was looking at this building, and I was thinking to myself architecturally when that was built. A totally different era, but it is still standing. And I just want to close with this. New Jersey is a historical place. And, you know, we played a major, major role, the state of New Jersey, in this country's creation. And I always chuckle at something that Ben Franklin once said. He called and described New Jersey as a, quote, valley of humility between two egotistical giants. And that was New York and Philadelphia. But as we stand here today, we know that New Jersey is greater than Philadelphia. It is greater New York than New York. New Jersey, Congressman, is the it place. And Governor Murphy and I are going to stand with Paterson to make certain that Paterson gets to restore its prominence as a great city within our state. Thank you. Thank you.
Make sure you recorded that last line on Facebook Live, please. News 12, NJ News. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. And I must say, I agree with you. This is more than a national park. It's a national treasure, a natural treasure that we have here, our Niagara. And it's just as good. Now, you talked about the future. Today we have with us the Paterson Music Project. And they will be performing their rendition or adaptation of We Are Here by Alicia Keys with a little Paterson flavor. Take it away. time, I just want to acknowledge some of the dignitaries that we have here. We have multiple members of the Municipal Council. We have more than a quorum. I'd ask them all to rise, please. We have Dr. Lalisa Mims, former Mayor and Councilwoman from the 4th Ward, Ruby Ann Cotton, Council President Maritza Davila. We had Councilman from the 6th Ward, Al Abdelaziz, Councilman from the Fighting 5th Ward, the great Louis Avelez, Councilman from the 1st Ward, Michael Jackson. Let's have a round of applause for the Paterson Municipal Council. My immediate predecessor as Mayor, the Honorable Jane Williams Warren. We have freeholders, TJ Best, freeholder John Bartlett, talks about ripples of renewal here at the Falls, and you know we're roaring for a renaissance right now. We also have freeholder Assad Akhtar. From the 35th Legislative District, the Honorable Senator Nellie Poe. From the Hamilton Partnership, Paterson, Leonard Sachs. Stand up, man. You're like 6'10". Let's go. He's from the 4th Ward, and he said he wants to run for council in the 7th Ward. Too bad it doesn't exist. We'll be announcing others later on, but at this time, from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, the Congressman cited him earlier, Ray Bukowski. Please, Ray.
So I'm here pleased to represent Commissioner Catherine McCabe, who just came back from the trip and is back in our building as of yesterday. What my title on the sheet does not represent is I'm actually Assistant Commissioner of Natural and Historic Resources, and I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor for kind of teeing up exactly the way that I see this place. This place represents exactly what the essence of my role is in the state, to tie together the natural and the historic resources. There's no better place than here. So I do appreciate this opportunity. I'm humbled and really honored to be part of this, but more so to represent the fact that, as the mayor put it, this is a family that got this all done, and I'm happy the fact that the Department of Environmental Protection had been several pieces and several programs that were involved in putting together a small part of this project, but we are only a small piece. For those who are not aware, there's significant contribution from the Green Acres program, site remediation program. I also have the State Office of Historic Preservation Office under me, which we do a significant amount of work in the city. So I am very happy to be here and honored. And I'll also say that, Mayor, if you are seriously interested, we use a little bit different vernacular. We don't use ranger in DEP. We have superintendents. I will say this right in front of one of my bosses. I'm really hoping to fill several vacancies in the State Park Service. So if you really are looking for a change in career, we would love to have you. And I say that with all due respect to the superintendent, because I am a former superintendent in the State Park Service. So I do understand and respect the difficult nature of this job to pull off projects like this with so many partners and get everybody going one direction and then make it sustainable as part of a huge cultural uplift for everyone. So I want to say that I am proud, I've said that several times, to be here, but more so I'm humbled that we get to be part of this, and congratulations to the city, National Park Service, and everyone who is involved as a partner. So thank you.
Why is everybody trying to give me a new job? I mean, I've been here for 100 days. Please. I don't know how I should feel about that. I also want to acknowledge, and I'd get in trouble if I don't do this, Lieutenant Governor, my wife, the First Lady, with the first baby, for Hanasea. So we've been talking about a renaissance, and I am committed to doing that. We should be committed to doing that. And one of the things we did, my administration, is we rejuvenated the Grassroots Arts Commission. So if I can ask the members of the Grassroots Arts Commission, who hopefully will be approved, Council, this Tuesday to rise, please, and let's give them a round of applause. We have the Chairman, Louis Cole. I saw Lizzie. Nick, thanks for joining us. Chris, thank you, Dassel. Kyle, at this time, we're a proud partner on the county level, who is a Patersonian in her own right, our freeholder director, the Honorable Sandy Lazara.
here today, as our Lieutenant Governor thought, I thought of the circle of life, how everything that comes around goes around. Growing up in this city, I listened to the stories of my grandfather, an immigrant from Sicily, who opened its first bakery just a couple of blocks away on Cross Street, now called Chauncey Street. I listened to the stories of my father tell me how he used to swim in the raceways here, that the water was so clean, and how this was his backyard playground because he lived right over that bakery. And I think to myself of the waves of immigrants that came to this city and made it what it was. I was just talking to John Carlo a couple minutes ago, and one of the things I love best is brickwork. And if you look at this brickwork, and we agreed on this, and you think of the craftsmen that came to this city and poured their heart and soul into building it into the city that it is today, we know that this is a great city. It is a great city. We have an exuberant mayor here now who brings a climate to this city that I'm sure you all feel. His dedication and his purpose. Our congressman, who I'm sure, and our mayor, Pat Kramer, played with my father either here or at the raceways, or having dinner at the bonfire when it was down there. Absolutely. This is a great city. This city surpasses nationality, political party, and gender. We are a city that comes together and is built by the many faces that we see here before us today. This is Paterson sitting right here, and this is what makes Paterson great. As a freeholder, I sit on many boards along with my, I want to call, excuse me for the savant, I'm not doing so right, but I want to call my fellow freeholders up. Because as we all know, there is no I in team, and we are a team. I love these guys. We work so well together. We work so well with the city, with the state, and with the federal government. And we couldn't do that without the collaboration of many. They sit on our planning department, our engineering department. They sit with the mayor. They sit with whoever wants to sit with them and to help move this city forward because they are so invested. This is our county seat, and we take that very seriously. But it is if we don't have collaboration and we don't work on every single level of government, from the federal to the state to the county to the city, things don't get done. But looking around today, you can see that that has come to fruition. The county itself has invested over $3 million in this park system right here because we value Paterson. We want to see Andre and the city council that works with him bring this city back to the way it once was. It's what we need. It's what you deserve. So I want to say, continue to come here. Bring your families. In the next, I guess, John, what's the timeline for up here? By next year, we will be working on this road to make the traffic a little easier for everybody. We will continue, as long as the mayor wants us to work with him on these projects. We work good together. But it's for you. This is a government, as Abraham Lincoln once said, of the people, by the people, and for the people. There's no egos. We work across political lines, and we do what's best for every single citizen here in the city of Paterson. Thank you.
Madam Director, you are absolutely right. Sometimes in order to get back to where you belong, you have to return to your roots. This is where our city was born, and it's where we'll be reborn. Again, since they were good the last time they performed, the Paterson Music Project with their rendition of America the Beautiful. I ask that we all rise as well. Thank you. tightest. During the course of the campaign, I talked about how Paterson is waiting to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to proclaim that starting today, Paterson is happening. And it doesn't end here. This Monday at the State Vistas Park, we'll have our first ever food truck festival on Columbus Day, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure you get a flyer, get a taco, get some lomo, or a gyro with the DJ Mojo playing as well. We also have another announcement to make regarding something else that's going to happen in Paterson. In less than 1 month, we'll be back here, Lieutenant Governor, cutting the ribbon on another milestone project. And to make that announcement, for closing remarks, our Director of the Division of Historic Preservation and Redevelopment, John Franco Archimede.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Franco Archimede. For the past 10 years, it's been my privilege to serve as the Director of Historic Preservation and of the Preservation Commission for the City of Paterson. Today, I'm especially privileged to have this opportunity in joining all of you this morning to remember the contributions of so many citizens and local leaders who came before us to mark the beginning of Paterson's historic preservation legacy and the journey to the destination and designation of our national park. These are people such as Mary Ellen Kramer, Grace George, Tippy Krugman, Mayor Pat Kramer, Flavia Laya, Frank Lesso, and so many others, too many to name. Their preservation legacy has been central to my focus and indeed to my inspiration in facing the tasks and challenges that I stepped into beginning in 2005. The designations of both a state and national park here at the Great Falls. Today, their vision of a national park designation has been realized by the continuing efforts over the years by so many of you. There's a project fact sheet circulating that I have here outlining the many details of this project that I won't get into now, but instead I'd like to point out the complexities of carrying out environmental remediation and construction improvements in such a challenging physical landscape. We have completed this twice now at Mary Ellen Kramer Park and here at Overlook Park. Our next challenging project going into design phase this fall and winter will be the Quarry Lawn Project, adjacent to this park and part of the Allied Textile Printing site. That would be through the tree line directly to my left. This consists of a 2.3-acre multi-planted lawn area, integrated ruins of former industrial textile dye buildings, and the beginnings of a river walk that will start right here in front of you at the hydroelectric station and go along the Passaic River toward the West Broadway Bridge. We will provide further details about this project during a kickoff announcement scheduled for next month that the Mayor mentioned. As has been noted here several times by the speakers and dignitaries before me, everyone knows that this project, projects like this, do not happen in a vacuum and without the input and coordination of many agencies and individuals. I'd like to take an opportunity in conclusion by giving a shout out to all who made valuable contributions throughout the course of this project. A specific thanks to all of our elected officials over the years who have continued to come to support the project. The Mayor's Office and Paterson City Council for their continued enthusiasm and support for the Great Falls. The Passaic Board of Chosen Freeholders for the same. A big shout out to Darren Bach, our Park Superintendent, who I work with on a day-to-day basis to have projects like this happen. Thank you, Darren. It's been a great pleasure and privilege to work with you. I'd like to acknowledge the project team. Tim Marshall and Dave Sittler of lead project architects from ETM Associates. Are Dave or Tim here? Are they here? Oh, Dave is way up on top. Hey Dave, shout out to you. I'd also like to give a shout out to Michael Huemiller, Project LSRP, licensed site remediation professionals from TNM Associates for environmental remediation control of this project. Tim? Thank you. Up top as well. Thanks for being here. I'd like to acknowledge Paul Martino and Phil Piro, Sr. and Jr. Are they here? I know Paul is here over to the side. Paul is the president of Applied Landscape Technologies, the project contractors, and Gary, who's here day to day, day in and day out, maintaining control of this project. I'd like to acknowledge the City of Paterson Historic Preservation Commission, Chairwoman Kelly Raffel, and other past chairs are here joining us today. There's Kelly, there's also Penny Simpson, and also Rich Walter at the back as well. Thank you very much for all your years of dedicated service. To the City of Paterson Department of Public Works Director Rodriguez and employees for all of their ongoing support of this project over this time. To the New Jersey Historic Preservation Office, to Jonathan Kinney and Catherine Markle, and to Kathy Elliott Shaw, our Green Acres Fund Coordinator from the New Jersey DEP, who is also here with us. Kathy, thank you for being here. It's been an ongoing honor and privilege to work with you and all the folks at DEP. I should also mention John Doyon, who's our Paterson Coordinator for the Historic Discharge Site Remediation Program. Without the input of all of these individuals, this would be a very tough project to complete. I also would like to acknowledge, in closing, Kathleen Karen of the Passaic County Open Space Fund and the Planning Department for the county for also their contributions to the project. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
So mark your calendars. Friday, November 2nd, 10 a.m. We'll be cutting the ribbon on a project that will call for the creation of a river walk at the falls to enhance the aesthetic appeal of our national treasure. At this time, I do want to acknowledge the members of my cabinet. If they'll kindly rise, our leadership team. Kathleen, please, Mike, Chief McDermott, Chief Oswald, Ruben Gomez, Scouring. So before we bring on our last presentation, I want everyone to walk away from this event knowing that what I said on July 1st when I took that oath of office is true. There is power in Paterson. There's power in Paterson. The power is behind me, and the power is in front of me. And let's let the world know about the Paterson power that exists here today. And for a powerful conclusion, I'm asking one of our own to give us her best rendition of God Bless America. Ariel Lampley, please rise.
Stand beside her and
saw her on Saturday, and I told her you're singing on Friday. And since everybody wants me to get another job, I'm gonna be your agent, Ariel. Don't worry, we're going places. So ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our program today. We are grateful here at the Great Falls for your presence. We are gonna ask everyone just to remain seated while everyone here at the dais goes upstairs, and we'll invite everyone to return to the upper reviewing plaza for our ribbon cutting ceremony. Thank you, God bless America, and God bless Paterson. Bye, Jamie Dykes, Jack Shannon, thank you.